Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. We're just hitting summer. I'm nice and hot. As you can probably tell, I've got a bit of sweat on me, so I decided to buy a fan. As you can see, you know, just a normal fan, the Pedestal fan. But the reason I'm making this video is, as you can tell, it's all in parts. Oh, we got one over here. There we go. We got him. So that comes me to the reason I'm making this video, showing you how to make up a pedestal fan. It's just a little cheap one from our local hardware store. And yeah, shut up Jordan and let's start building some fan. Alright, well, yeah, I've already opened the box as you guys can see. So I'll start pulling bits out. We've got part of the shaft, as you can see on the box, there'll be this part here. We've got some stabilizers for holding the fan up, as you can see here. We've got the blade safety drill and the blade itself. We've got the bit that goes on the bottom, the shaft for the legs. We have the motor and power supply for the fan, and just a few of the shaft tightening and adjustment plastic things. Alright, well, that's everything in the box, we don't need that. I'm going to shut up and I'm going to start building. So obviously first things first, get all this fucking wrap off. No one wants this shit. We got an instruction manual, but it's pretty simple. Don't need that. Got the you got the motor that makes us go woo. Alright, faster. Get that out the way, get that out the way. Got the legs. Second leg. Got all the extra plastic stuff. Got some screws. First things first is you'll start with the bottom of the fan, which is the legs. This goes like a crossbar. All you gotta do is they've got little, this is the top, this is the bottom. You just give this a little squeeze and you slide it into the groove, just like that. Place that down. Then you've got the adjustable shaft that can raise the fan up and down, just like that. So you'll attach the shaft to the legs with these 4 little screws here. Just like this. You've got little screw holes in here, and you've also got the bits, the channels that the screws go into, like that. Now that I've got my 4 screws in, I'm just tightening up the last one now. Do it till it stops turning freely, and then it's pretty much tight enough, because you don't want to over tighten them, otherwise the holes will bore out and then it'll be a loose fitment. Then the next step is just put the screw cap over, make it nice and pretty, easy peasy. And then before you grab this part, you've got another little cap. This is just, it's got threads in it, and it's also got a tightening mechanism here. So obviously this is moving freely. You don't want it to do that obviously when you've got this on there. So you want this to adjust it up and down. You'll put this cap on, you'll adjust it to wherever you need it, and then you'll just tighten the screw mechanism up there and it'll stop it from moving. So whatever height you want it, you just set it and then tighten that. and that's how you set the height. For this demo I'm just going to have it fully extended, tighten that, easy peasy. Now with this, it's got a back screw here. You unwind this screw because obviously from the factory they've put it in so it doesn't get lost. You unscrew this fully till it stops blocking this hole here. You'll unscrew it so this shaft can go in here freely without getting stopped by the screw. Then you'll pop it onto the top of the shaft like this till it slots down until it stops. And then this is your screw that holds these two pieces together, and you'll just obviously tighten that up till it stops moving. And so when you get a bit of resistance on the screw, that's when you'll stop. As you can see, now they're together. So that's the main part done. And now it's just putting this fan, the proper fan part on, the fins. So what you want to do, they have a little protection piece there, you just pull this off. It releases the thread there. You'll put the back of the protection cover on first. Just before you do that, you've got to unwind this piece because this is what holds the back part on. So you'll unwind this, you'll grab your back part, and then you've got some slots that you line up. So all you got to do is just line the back up with these two slots here, one there and one there. Goes on with these little pieces coming up. Once you do that, you grab your little star and you start winding that back on. And that will tighten on the thread, and that'll make the back piece tight and bring it as one piece. So you don't want to over tighten it, just until it gets a bit of resistance in your hand, just finger tight it, it'll be fine. See, it's not wiggly, it's not loose, it's nice and tight on here, and then away you go. And then, what you want to do next is you grab your fins, obviously the nice part facing forward, you got your back part, and all this does, it's got a little channel here, you just line it up with this little piece of metal here. Obviously you can see, straight like that, just push it on until it clicks, and there we go. You got to make sure it lines up with that piece of metal. The metal goes into the channel, otherwise this is when the motor starts spinning it's not going to actually be driven by the motor, it's just going to be whizzing round, and this will just go freely like this. And this will just end up chewing up this plastic and it won't be actually spinning the fan. So you got to make sure you actually get this part and this part aligned, so when this is turning, it's actually turning the fan fins as well. So that's all aligned. Then this just holds the fan on. So you just screw this on until it won't screw down anymore. It's on until it's nice and tight, and that will hold everything in place. So just do a turn, just finger tight, you don't have to go too overboard, otherwise you'll chew out the plastic, because these are quite cheaply made, so you don't want to fuck anything by over tightening. And then it's just the front fan cover. What you do is you go around the whole perimeter of this fan cover and you'll lift up these little tabs, just like this. Just lift them all up, and this part is for the safety screw that locks it all in, which will be the 5th screw that you would have got in your little packet. So you would have got 4 for the base, and then you would have got this little screw and this little nut. This is a safety screw. It just stops kids from lifting all this tab up and pulling it off and exposing the blades. So just an extra safety feature. First you want to do is, these will all be loose, all these fittings will be loose when you get that out of the box like this. So to make it easier to try and put this on without this wiggling, is just give this a tighten up and it'll just make your job 10 times easier. And so, alright, so you've got this little screw and you've got this little bolt. You can see it's quite hard to see on camera, but just a little little nut, a little bolt. And you've got these holes, one on the front safety guard and one on the back. That's basically your alignment to get this right. So what you do is you just hook the hook on, makes it easier to hold it, let the fan hold itself. Come down to the bottom and just line the two holes up together. Like so. Put your screw in. And they go through both holes. Put the nut on. Like so. Just have it loose for now. Now that the fan's all lined up, the hook's on the top there, you can go around and tighten all these tabs, which just lock the fan cases together, just like that. One like that. Just make sure they actually lock onto both of them. And just one on the other side, so there'll be two up the top and two down the bottom. Once that's all fixed into place, tighten up your little safety screw. It only just needs to be hand tight just until it stops moving a little bit and the bolt is sandwiched onto the back side there. Just like that. So that's pretty much it, that's all your fan. You've obviously got the adjustment here, loosen that, goes up and down. You've got your angle one here, so you can change the angle of it, lock it into place, just like that. So you got up, down, depends where you want it. And enough talking from me, let's plug this one in and see how she goes. My lovely assistant. Pretty simple to plug it in, just like this, and look at that, she fires up just like that. So these different buttons here are for different speeds, and the bottom one's an off one, so you've got just low speed, slightly faster, and full noise. This, you know how it's isolating like this? If you just want it fixed in one place, you just pull this tab at the top here and then it'll just set it into place, and all you gotta do to make it isolate again is just push that down and it'll start moving again. Just like that, easy peasy. So yep, 3 speeds, the off button, and there you go, that's how you set up a pedestal fan. And just before I go, I loved doing this as a kid. Thank you. If you liked that video, please like and